I've worked with thousands of clients over the years, and I've noticed something. There are people who do everything right: the protocols, the therapies, the healing work, the diets, and they still stay stuck. Not because they're not trying, not because they're broken, but because they're falling into one of these three patterns that keeps healing just out of reach. So, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what those three patterns are and how to know if you're stuck in one of them. So, let's go. If you're new here, I'm Sarah. I'm a medical intuitive, and I read the body, I read energy patterns, and I read the soul. And one of the questions that I get asked most often is this: Sarah, I've tried everything. I'm doing all the right things. Why am I not healing? And the answer isn't what most people expect. Because here's the truth: healing isn't just about what you do, it is about how you hold what you are doing. Does that make sense? You can have the perfect protocols, the best supplements, the most skilled healers. But if your vessel is still operating in one of these three patterns, healing will just stay out of reach. So today, I'm breaking down the three types of people who stay sick even if they're doing everything right. And I'm going to show you how to shift out of these patterns so healing can finally land. Okay, so let's start with type one. Type one is called the chaser. They're always moving towards the next new thing, the next healer, the next protocol, the next breakthrough. Maybe this will finally be the thing that works, they'll commonly say. They live in pursuit mode, constantly searching, constantly fixing, constantly trying. I see a lot of these people. They come to me often. And on the surface, it looks like commitment. It is. It's absolute commitment. And I love it. They get things done. It looks like they're doing all the right things. But here's what's actually happening energetically: they're signaling to their body, I don't have it. I'm lacking. I'm incomplete. And when you operate from lack, you create contraction. The vessel closes and you chase healing instead of receive it. So, what does this look like? So, if you've tried 10 plus different modalities in the past year, that's what this would look like. You get excited about a new product or a new protocol, but lose hope when they don't work immediately. You're always researching, always looking for the missing piece. You feel anxious when you're not actively doing something to heal, because it feels like if you're actively doing something, then it's part of the healing process, but it's actually pushing the healing away. And for these people, resting feels like failure because you're not working on it. So, why they stay stuck? Well, because healing does not enter a body that is chasing. Healing enters a body that is open, receptive, and steady. The chaser is moving way too fast to receive. They're so focused on the destination that they can't be present for the healing journey. And it's really, really about the healing journey. Their nervous system never settles. Their vessel never opens, and healing just stays out of reach. So the shift that they need, instead of chasing healing, they need to learn how to hold space for it. So what does this mean? Slowing down and regulating, first and foremost. Full trust in your body that it already knows how to heal. Do you know that your body is healing every day for you, every minute of the day, every second of the day? Your body is in healing mode. That's its natural process. Its natural, organic process is to heal. So it's always healing you. That's why if you get a cut, it heals. Its natural process is to heal. We have just forgotten that. Staying with one approach long enough for it to integrate is another thing that's really important. And learning that healing isn't something that you pursue, it is something that you become capable of receiving. So, a mantra for this type, the chaser, is something as simple as this: I stop chasing, I start receiving. All right, so type two, the controller. The controller needs to manage everything. If they're not in control of their healing, their environment, their outcomes, then they don't feel safe. They've researched obsessively, they micromanage their protocols. They need to understand exactly how and why things work before they'll try it. Maybe they read ingredient lists, very, very cautiously. And again, on the surface, it looks like diligence. It looks like they're being very responsible. But here's what's really happening energetically. Control is a form of fear, and fear contracts the vessel. So when you grip, you close. When you clench, healing can't enter. So, what does this look like for the controller? Well, you need to know the exact timeline of your healing before you can commit. That's kind of the idea of the controller. You second guess every practitioner, doctor, protocol, recommendation. Maybe you don't second guess it. Maybe you're asking a lot of questions to dig in deeper to really, really get it. And that's another idea of control. You feel anxious when things feel uncertain or feel just out of your hands, intangible. You struggle to trust your body's timing. See, our body has its own unique timing. Just because we want something right now does not mean your body is ready for it. You try to force healing to happen on your schedule. When your symptoms flare, you panic and try to fix it immediately. So, why does the controller stay stuck? Well, because healing doesn't respond to force. Healing requires surrender, not collapse, not giving up, but conscious, active surrender, trusting that your body knows what it's doing, even when it can't see the outcome yet. This is really big. It's so big. The controller is gripping so tightly that their body stays rigid. Their digestion shuts down, their nervous system stays activated, and the vessel stays closed. And healing can't land in a clenched system. It never will. So, the shift that they need, the controller needs to learn surrender without collapse. Collapse is the give up. The surrender is allowing its natural process and order and time, not having any interference in it. So, what does this mean? Well, it means letting go of the timeline that you have in your mind. It means trusting the process even when it's uncomfortable and you don't know the outcome. That's hard for a lot of people. Allowing their body to lead instead of forcing it to follow. Releasing the need to understand everything before they start something. So the mantra for the controller is simple like this: I release control and I trust my body's wisdom. Your body has so much wisdom. It's incredible. All right, so type three. This is the isolated one. The isolated one does everything alone. They don't ask for help, they don't join communities, and they don't share their struggles. Not because they're not strong, not because they don't believe anybody will understand. No, they don't trust that support will actually be there for them. So they heal in isolation, in silence, and in solitude. And here's what happens: isolation shrinks the vessel faster than fear. When you're alone with your pain, it gets bigger. When you're alone with your illness, you lose perspective often. When you're alone with your fear, it can consume you. So, what does this look like for the isolated one? Well, you've been dealing with chronic illness, even pain for years, and nobody really knows how bad it is. I've seen a lot of people like this. You don't talk about your struggles because you don't want to burden people. You feel like nobody will understand what you're going through. You've tried healing modalities, but always alone, never in a group, never in a community. You reject support even when it's offered because you don't believe it will last. You isolate when you're at your worst instead of reaching out. So, why do they stay so stuck, this type? Because healing isn't meant to happen alone. Your nervous system is wired for co regulation. When you're surrounded by others who are also committed to healing, your capacity to receive increases exponentially. One person healing alone can be slow, but five people healing together, it's exponential. So the isolated one refuses community typically. They refuse witness, they refuse to be held. And so their vessel stays small, their healing stays slow, and they often stay stuck. So, this is the shift that is needed for the isolated one. They're needing to learn that being witnessed is not a weakness, but is a power. And that is a vulnerability thing, also. This means joining a community of people who understand you and who have compassion towards what you're going through, letting themselves be seen even when it's very vulnerable, asking for support instead of waiting for it to be offered, trusting that they're not alone even when it feels like they are. So, this is the mantra for the isolated one. I am safe to be seen and I am safe to be held. So, if that is you, let that one land. The truth about all these three types, well, here it is. Here's what they all have in common. They're trying to heal from a place of fear, not trust. The chaser fears that they'll never find the answers, so they keep searching. The controller fears they're going to lose control, so they grip tighter. And the isolated one fears they're going to be abandoned or alone, and so they stay alone. And fear contracts the vessel. Healing, on the opposite end, requires expansion. It requires softening. It requires trusting, receiving, opening. And you can't do that when you're chasing, gripping, or hiding. So, which type are you? You might be one of these. You might be all three of these at different times. But drop a comment below and let me know. Which type are you? Are you the chaser? Are you the controller? Or are you the isolated one? And hey, no shame, because we are all here to shift these patterns. And when we finally have that awareness, then these patterns can shift. You're not stuck forever. You just need the tools, the framework, and the support to move from contraction to expansion, from chasing to receiving, from control to surrender, and from isolation to community. And that's exactly what I teach in my masterclass. And if you've recognized any of these three types in yourself, if you saw yourself as the chaser or the controller or the isolated one, I want you to know something. You're not the problem. You're just operating from a pattern that's keeping you stuck and something that you've been taught and programmed your whole life. But patterns can shift. So, I've created a masterclass called Heal Within, the hidden reasons that your body keeps breaking down and how to unlock your healing. It is 2 hours, it's pre recorded and self studied, so you can do it at your pace. So, in this masterclass, I teach you how to move from chasing healing to actually receiving it. How this framework has worked for thousands of my clients, including myself. You've heard three soul corrections today, and I'm going to show you the core 13 and how they all play out in your life, as well the symptoms that correlate with them. I'm going to show you why healing with others, going through a similar experience, can accelerate your transformation, and the exact tools to expand your vessel on a daily basis so healing can finally land. Healing isn't always about doing more. Sometimes it's about holding it differently. So the link is in the description for the masterclass. You can check that out. And if you've been stuck and if you've been doing everything right that you've been told to do and nothing is changing, then honestly, this masterclass will show you exactly why. And more importantly, it will show you how to shift it. So I've poured my heart and my soul into this. It's one of those things that I feel when you watch it and you go through it, it's so in depth with wisdom. You're gonna have to go through it a few times. Take notes, take your time to integrate it, but it is powerful. It is very, very powerful. So the next thing I want to offer you is Rise. This is my 6 week group mentorship. And for those of you who are ready to take your healing to a deeper next level, who want my direct support, my frequency, it is a community that can hold you and integrate this work more for you. I'm opening my doors to my group mentorship called Rise. Rise is a 6 week experience where we go way beyond the teachings and into full embodiment. And here's what you're going to receive in Rise: it's 6 weekly calls with me. They're 90 minutes where I guide you and the group through energy clearings, quantum work, intuitive soul lessons. Everything's intuitive. Nothing is pre-planned or anything. It's all aligned with the group's energy and soul patterns. It's real-time support. It's Q&A. I'll often bring people up in the hot seat and work with them. And anyone who is worked on, the group automatically gets that healing. So it's very integrative. You'll be in my energetic field, and that is actually designed to help you regulate faster, release deeper, and open more fully to your soul, to whatever your soul is ready for right now. Because it's really about vibrational resonance that's created when we all come together, which is very powerful. So it's a private community of others who are also learning this language, also experiencing their capacity, and also committed to their rise. Most of the time, I see groups like these. People they find they find their people in these containers. It's the ones that you connect with deeper in life and become your forever friends. This is where they are, because I know many of you doing this alone without the support. And it doesn't mean that you don't have the support with your family. Maybe you do, and maybe you don't. But it's deeper support. It's actually walking you through proven processes that will inevitably have you at a better place than if you weren't before coming in. In Rise, I'm going to be giving you daily tools and practices for the week to keep your nervous system regulated and your capacity just continuing to open and expand. So Rise is going on 6 week cycles. The first 6 week cycle begins on December 3rd. So if you can't make the first cycle, it is ongoing. But I did choose to do it right I know it's a busy month in the holidays, but I know for a lot of people, this time brings up a lot of trauma, a lot of memories, a lot of wounds come up during this time. And I thought this is actually when you need group and guided support more to get through these difficult times. So I easily could have said, let's keep it, I told my team, I easily could have said, let's wait till January. It's simpler. It's the easy way. It's the common sense way. But I'm so rooted in transformation with people. I live for it. I am so passionate about supporting people getting to their next level and really connecting to what their soul needs them to know here in this life, because it's the biggest gap that I see in everyone. There's such a disconnect. We have been told to look outside of ourselves for every answer, but incredibly, amazingly, it's here. It's all within. And because I can read that so easily, I'm able to help and facilitate this healing with you so much quicker. So if you're interested, secure your spot. There's a huge discount going right now. And that the discount is going only until November 15th. But secure your spot, because I am capping it at a certain number intentionally, so I can hold each person and the group doesn't get too big. So if you're ready to accelerate your healing, Rise is where that transformation will happen. So drop a comment and tell me about your healing journey. I read every comment and I'd love to hear from you. And if this video helped you in any way see more clearly, please like and subscribe. I share deep spiritual healing content every week. I live for it. It is my world. Because it's all in the name of helping you unlock the healing that your body is asking for. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your willingness to look at these patterns so openly and honestly. Because if you lasted through this whole video, I know you're doing that, and I appreciate that. That's just the first step towards shifting them, and the next will come. So I hope to see you in my masterclass. I hope to see you in Rise, and I hope to see you on the next video.